This video is about how you can get your Gemini-Pro API and create something you love locally. So here we have created an app using Gemini-Pro API, which help users refine their prompt on 6 key components, which are task, content, exemplar, persona, format, and tone. The idea behind this app is inspired from this blog post on medium.com by that hero, where he have listed 6 basic elements that construct into a good prompt, which are task, content, exemplar, persona, format, and tone. You can read the article if you want in detail. I will paste the link in the description. So let's see how the app works. Let's give it a prompt. Let's see how to create coffee using with cream. I'm not a fan of a coffee, but let's see what we get. So basically now the prompt is sent to the Gemini Pro API and it analyzes the prompt on the 6 key components we mentioned before, and it gives the rating based on whether these elements are present in the prompt or not. So we have got a 3.3 rating for our prompt, which is pretty obvious. So we have got individual rating for each component. Like for task, we have get 10 by 10. Obviously, the task is pretty, we have to find straightforward. Like we want to create coffee. Then there is for content, we have got 4 by 10, exemplar 0, persona 0, format 6 by 10, and tone 4 by 10. And we have also got suggestions like how we can improve the prompt. It says that we can include the type of coffee and provide some exemplar recipe or for the reference. And we have also got an improved prompt, which we can directly use to get the response we want from the any model, any A model. So we can also try it directly here. Let's see how it goes. And now this prompt, the suggested prompt, uh, is sent to the Gemini and to get the response, like what we can get if we use this prompt. So it have first listed the equipments we need to create the coffee. Then there are instructions, and obviously if we follow, I'm pretty sure we'll get a good coffee. So let's see how we can create a similar app. It will be a simple code walkthrough, nothing fancy here. So first of all, we will need the Gemini Pro API, which we can get by going to the website makersuite.google.com. So let's go here. After you log into this website, you will see some screen like that. Here, there is a list of my previous prompts which I created. Uh, Here you can try the API by simply by pasting your prompt. Let's try the same prompt here, which we got. Let's click it, copy it, and try it here. Let's click on Run and see what we get. Oh yes, we have got a similar response which we got there. Obviously, the same prompt was sent to the Gemini model. So let's see how we can get our API to create something locally. To get an API, we can click here on Get API Key. It's related to the prompt we just created. Let's cancel it. Actually, we need to click OK. Here I have created my previous API, which is listed here. In order to create an API, you will click here and it will create an API. Let's generate an API. It may take some time to generate your API. Oh yes, we have got it. You can copy your API and save it locally in .env file or somewhere safe so you can use it in future. Obviously, I will delete my API right away and use the previous one which I have created. Obviously, it's for security purposes. After we create our API, we can come to our prompts list we have created. So basically, if you have not explored before, Gemini lets you create, use it in 4 types. Like you can use the model for free-form prompts, structured prompts. Structured prompts is basically where you can define the output and let the Gemini, whenever it answers, so it will give the response in the defined output format. And there is chat, which is similar to like ChatGPT and others. So I have previously created, I used the structured prompt format to create to use the API. So basically here we have provided the inputs, like inputs are basically the prompts which user may give, and the output format which we want. So it's similar to, actually it's a JSON format, so that we can use it in our code for the UI or different purposes. Here we have give 5 examples and as a reference to the model, so that whenever it gives output, it's always in the same format. So let's try it again. How to create, uh, let's start with a cake. Uh, yes, let's run it and see the output we get. It will be in the same format which we have defined above in the examples. We can click here on get code. Here we have different options, like if you are building the project in Python, you can copy the code from here to use the same prompt. And if it's JavaScript, like you're using JavaScript to create your project, you can copy the prompt we created or you created before from here. So let's walk through our code and see how our web app is functioning. So basically here is our title, and below there is our tagline, and then there is our form, which is the most important part of our app. So users give their prompt, and when they click the submit button, the onSubmit function is called, which makes the request to our endpoint API/Google. Basically, we are sending the user's prompt to this endpoint, from where we create the request to Gemini-Pro model. So basically, we have copied the code from the get code part, and after we receive the response, we send it back to the front end. And yes, it's in the same format which we have defined, and then we parse it in JSON and use it to render. So below, after the form, there is the website copy, basically the description, and then there is rating bar. We have created the rating bar here in the components, and then there is, we're entering the cards, basically cards of the components of the prompt and their rating. And at the end, with the suggested prompt, there was the try now button. So when user clicks the button, there is another function which we are calling get prompt response. And basically here we are making another request to our endpoint, which is /Google/create. And basically we are sending the suggested prompt or the improved prompt to the Gemini model. And after, when we receive the response, we render it using the React Markdown. So yes, this was all the video about. You can get the code from the GitHub by clicking on the link in the description. And if you want, you can create a similar app using the OpenAI completions API or using its assistant API. And if you have got any questions, ask it in the comments. And thank you for watching the video.